All right. So my training style is very similar um to coaches. So we're going to use the chat a lot to make sure that you are keeping up with me. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat as well, and myself or Mark will call to my attention that something's in there. I do get excited when I train, so if I start to talk too fast, let me know. And forgive me for my voice. I'm in Georgia, and all this pollen will not let me be great. So if you're not understanding anything that I say, please drop that in the chat as well, and I'll go back through it. So let's go ahead and get ready. So if you can hear me clearly, and understand me, drop a one in the chat right now. So I know that you guys are with me. Okay, great. Um, I don't ever want to train above anyone's level. So I want you to drop a two if you are familiar with working with Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. I want to see how many twos we get back. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Okay. So if you have been under coach for a while, you understand that he uses the Excel spreadsheet because it's perfect for calculations. We don't have to use our human brain that sometimes forgets how to add, right? We let the spreadsheet do all the work. So that's what we're going to use to create the budget. He did want us to, let me share my screen. And I do want to put a disclaimer. I sit in front of three monitors. So if I'm not looking directly at the camera, not trying to be rude, I'm looking at one of the other monitors to my side. All right, so you should be able to see my screen now. Yep. So this is the Grind Fest. Let's make it bigger. This is the Grind Fest budget he wanted us to share with you all. And I'll just scroll down. This first section right here is just the content. Your organization name? What is the project name? You want to do a budget for every single event that you do because they're not all alike, right? Events are different. Some things are the same across the board, but you want to make sure that you keep detailed information on how much it costs to put it on so that when you revisit that same event for a future event, you'll know what worked, what didn't work, right? Where you need to ask for more dollars at, or where you need to update the pricing because every year inflation goes up, right? So you want to make sure that the cost of everything you keep a track of so that you know where to at least start at for the next event. So this section is your income information. How much money are you bringing in? It can be through grants, sponsorships, donations, contracts. In kind, we learned that was volunteer hours that we can actually go out for grants using that piece of data on how many volunteers help us. And he gave us like the rate for how much the volunteers hourly rate is that we can use to come up with what that in-kind is, in-kind dollar amount is. So all of your grants, your sponsorships would go under income because you're receiving that money. And as he's taught us, we want to make sure that our events are as close to debt free to us as possible. So this is going to help us figure out how many dollars we need to ask for based on what the expenses we have for each event. Going down to the next section is expense information. Mark, can you look that up for us, the current in-kind dollar amount? Thank you, Ms. Karen, for that
Yes,
question.
yes.
Thank you. The expense information, that is everything that you are going to need to put a penny to. You want to list down every single thing because, again, we can't have a debt-free event if we're not costing out every aspect of the event. So as you can see here for personnel, he's got project manager, cleaning staff, event staff, security, off-duty police, overall event support. He has all of these things listed. And then he even goes to the merchandise. Are you giving or selling stuff? You want to put that right there. Supplies. Are you going to feed the people at your event? Are you going to provide any type of entertainment? Are you going to have door prizes? Story time with elders is one of his features of Grind Fest. The facilitator, you need to pay that. Are you going to have a facilitator of any sort at your event? What is their cost for them to come and do in your event? Marketing. People sometimes overlook how much marketing costs. You can get away with doing a lot of it for free, but depending on the size of your event and the wide range that you want to cover, you're going to have to put dollars against that for the marketing. How much is that marketing going to cost? Are you going to do social media ads? Are you going to put ads in the paper? Are you going to put get on the radio, TV stations? Are you going to get press releases? All those type of things you want to cost out how much it's going to cost you. And then any extra stuff. Event planning. Are you paying somebody to put this together for you, or are you doing it yourself? So those are all different types of expenses that can that you can end up paying for when it comes to getting planning out your event and making sure that you come as close as possible to being debt free. And Mark just dropped in the comments that the latest value of a volunteer hour is estimated to be $31.80, right? So, and we'll do an example of that calculation for you. So if any questions on this part, because that's basically it. We are going to cost out all of our income, how much we want to get back on the different levels of income types. And then we're going to list out expenses. We're going to build this sheet together, and that's going to be our class for today. So drop a 3 in the chat right now if you have your spreadsheet up and you are ready to go. If you have a question, go ahead and drop that in the chat right now as well. And I'll move forward once I see some 3s come through. Okay, I only see 2 3s. So I'm going to assume that nobody else is following along. Or you still trying to get set up? Tell me to slow down if you need time to get your stuff up, because he really wanted you guys to do this, to be able to do this. So I can wait for you. Just drop a 3 in the chat if you are in front of Microsoft Excel or a spreadsheet. Okay, no problem. No problem, Miss Karen. You guys will have the replay as well. Okay, Miss Diana. Mark Granny T is asking, when will the recording be available? Okay, he says possibly tomorrow. Okay, awesome. All right, well, I got enough 3s, and I know some of you guys are at work. I understand. I am too. This is my work background. But we're going to get this done for Coach. It was an honor to train you all. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I think he already did. Yeah, Sean, if you scroll back up to the top of the chat, Mark already dropped it. Oh, he did it again. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna go to a blank one, and I created a blank one already. Okay, and then I'll show you how to do that. I know I got a lot of people that said they knew how to do it, but just in case somebody didn't want to say that they're not familiar with it, I understand. So I'm gonna delete this one, and I'll walk you through it. Okay, so when you open up the Google Sheet that Mark just dropped in the chat, it's gonna open up like this. If you go down to sheet 1, I'm down here at the bottom left, right click on it and hit duplicate. It's gonna create a copy of Coach's sheet. And because this is our own sheet, we're gonna go ahead and just go through there and delete all of Coach's info. And do know that the original is still there, so you're fine. Just go ahead and delete everything out of income. And we're going to go here and delete everything out of expense. So your sheet should look like this. No organization name, no project name. Income is blank. Expenses blank. Drop me a 4 for those that are following along that you are at that point, and then I'll move forward. To those that are just joining, good afternoon. My name is Janae Taylor, and Mark and I are filling in for Coach. He's out of country, and so he asked us to come on here and just show you guys how to create a budget for your event. So just join us where you can. We are in the Google Sheet that Mark posted in the chat that you can follow along with this. All right, so I got some 4s. Awesome. Okay, so we have our blank budget sheet right now. I know you guys know your organization name and your project name. So we won't spend time on that part, but make sure you fill that part in. I'm gonna use my church pantry for the example. We have we've had a food pantry at my church for the past 3 years now, and we provide food to all of the surrounding counties where my church is located. And we also do food drives. So the church hosts the food pantry, but and I'm saying this because if you've been listening to Coach, a lot of grants do not give to religious organizations, but because the pantry itself is not um, is not by the church, we just host it. That's how we're able to get funding for it. So far this year, using the techniques that coaches taught us this year, I've been able to receive right under $2,000 in grants to go towards our pantry. Um, and it's helpful because if using the grant money, we don't have to rely on the church's tithes and offerings to pay for the stocking of our food pantry. We do have community partners that also do like food can drives for us to help us stock our pantry, but the majority of it comes from the church's dollars. So now um, I've learned how to use the grant world to offset those dollars so we don't have to go to the church to replenish what we have in the pantry. We're using the grant dollars that we've received from Publix, from Food Lion, from with the most recent one was $1,000 we got from Robbins Federal Credit Union, which is a big credit union down here, and it's part of to replenish what we have in there. So what he's teaching us works. It works, and it's been great. I've done the Publix. Publix is annual. And this is the second year that I've been able to get it, and I've won $500 in gift cards from them both times. And I did what he taught us. When I won the first one, I kept everything that I put into the grant request form. I kept everything, and all I did was copy and paste it for this year. And within, they said 4 week turnaround, but it was like 2 weeks. I got a notification that we were awarded $500 again. Do I ask for 500? No, I ask for the max, and then I just take whatever they give us. So I don't ask for $500. Yes, ma'am. And then also with Food Lion, we applied for Food Lion. Food Lion is biannual, so you can apply for it twice a year. So I've already got the first one, and I notated like you could apply for it every 6 months. So I wrote in my cheat sheet that okay, Food Lion, we were awarded on this date. Add 6 months. That's when I need to go and try to get that second one. So that's how I keep up with the grant cycle on the things that we're applying for. I'm steady applying, so you guys apply. Do what coach is telling you because it works. It works. Um, so yeah, enough of that. So we're going to go back to the budget. For the income information, think about how you are going to. You can't type in there. It's Miss Diana. Can you tell me if that's the original copy or the copy you just made?
The copy I just made.
Okay, so when you click on it, it's not letting you do that at all?
Hey, no, maybe I need to empty all of it. You know what I did? I just did that one square and hit delete. Maybe I'll try what you just did, clear it out. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, I'm gonna clear these two columns out as well. All right, so for income, you wanna list out how many avenues are you gonna use? Which avenues are you gonna use to get in these grant dollars? Are you gonna do grants like we just talked about? Are you gonna do sponsorships? He's taught us about sponsorships. Um, Contracts, in kind, your volunteers. How are you going to get the dollars in? And that's what you want to list out right here. Okay. So as you can see for Grind Fest, he used program grants, other grants, city grants, sponsorships, basic donations, um, mission related revenue, contracts, in kind, and Wells Fargo. So those are all the sources that he used for Grind Fest. And if I can make an assumption, this is probably some of the sources that he used for last year's Grind Fest, and he just brought them back over because, like he's taught us, if they give to you one time, establish that relationship with them so that when you have your event again, you can go back to them and say, hey, you helped us out with this event last year. We'd love to partner with you again. So those are the sources. Um, okay, so I'll give you a couple minutes and go ahead and like list out the various sources. And I'll go ahead and we'll do this as well. So what we're doing is just listing sources, right? So we're gonna list, I'm gonna say grants, because I've never done this event before. So we're just gonna do grants. And we do want sponsorships. Um, Donations. Yeah, we want donations. Contracts, in kind, yes, because we have plenty of volunteers. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna start with. I don't know what you have on yours, but these are the sources that I can think of right now that we could use from for me personally for a food pantry event for our church. Okay. So how much do you want? Oh, before I go on, make sure you guys are with me. Drop a 5 if you have some sources listed down. And you can always go back and change this. This is not set in stone. Okay. You can always go back. All right. I got 1 5. I'll wait for one more 5 before I press. Okay. All right. So we got our grants. So let's say now we're going to drop in some numbers, right? Um, Before we do that, I want to show you, I had mentioned before that we like Excel spreadsheets because it can do the calculations for us. We don't have to add the ones and zeros ourselves. We can let the spreadsheet do that. So in this total line, there is an equation. It's the sum equation. I'm going to take this out because I want you guys to see. Mark, I'm going to let you answer that question from Granny T. Okay, so for the total, we have the sum. We want it to automatically total that for us, okay? We don't want to have to add it up ourselves. So what you're going to do is click on the cell at the bottom of the income column, and you're going to hit the equal sign. And this tells the Excel sheet that you want to put in a formula. And then you're going to type in the word sum. And then you're going to do an open parenthesis. Now, this is telling it what do you want to add together. So we're going to click this box here and drag it all the way down to the cell right above total. Then that's a left click hold, drag it down and let it go. Put your in parenthesis, hit enter. So now anything that I drop in any of these fields right here is going to automatically add it up here. I'll do that again. So we went to the last cell for the total, we hit equal, sum, open parenthesis. We're going to left click and hold to highlight the ones we want to add up. And then we're going to do a close parenthesis and hit enter. And the way to test it, just drop some numbers in there and you can see it's adding it up. So you don't have to do it. All right. Drop me a 6 if you've gotten that far. Great, 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 great. Good. Okay. So I want you to go ahead and put some real dollar amounts in here for grants, sponsorships, donations, and in kind. So let's go ahead and do that. So grants, I'm going to put 5,000, sponsorships, 5,000. I'm lowballing it only because, you know what? Nope. Coach tells us to not lowball. We're going to go and get it, right? We're going to go and get it. So grants, let's do 10. Grants. Let's do not $50. Grants, sponsorships. Let's do 10. Donations. Oh, in kind. In kind, I'll pause there because that's the volunteers. So Mark looked up for us that the volunteer, the in-kind dollar amount for volunteers' hours, where's my calculator? Okay, was $31.80 per hour for a volunteer. In-kind dollars is the dollar amount that your volunteers are hours, their time is worth. Some grants, when you apply for them, will ask if you have any type of in-kind dollars. How do you figure this out? You take the number of hours your volunteers work and you multiply it by the hourly rate, which is $31.80. So to make it very simple, we'll say we had 5 volunteers that worked 2 hours. 5 times 2 is 10, right? And then the rate per hour is $31.80. So you're going to multiply that by the total amount of hours, which in our case is 10, and you will put that dollar amount into your spreadsheet. Oh, okay, no problem. So Mark found the most recent dollar amount. It's not 31.80, it's 33.49 as of April 2024. So we will take that out. And this okay. And I'm gonna do this because I know you guys are a bunch of smart people. So I'm gonna tell you how to do it in the spreadsheet, and then you don't have to do it separately in the calculator. It's number of volunteer hours times hourly rate. That is the formula in word form. So we're gonna say it's 10 hours and the hourly rate is $33.49. Oh, got it. Make sure you put the equal sign so I can do the math for you. Okay, so that's the in-kind. And you can see the formula up here also. So if you ever need to go back and change it and like, no, it's really 12 hours, then you can go ahead and come up here, click on it and change it. And again, it's still totaling for us. Okay. All right. So that's income. The only difference in the next section is the type of dollars we're talking about. Everything else is the same. Expenses. Remember, we want to list out every single thing that we need to pay for. What is going to come out of our pockets to cover for said event? You want to list it all out. List it all out. If it's easier for you to break it up into sections and then do it up under that, you can do that as well. This is what Coach had on his, and I'll leave it there so that you guys can see it as an example. But you want to make sure everything. I don't not sure where your event will be held at, but you want to think about, are you responsible for lighting? Again, event entertainment. Are you going to have a DJ? Are you going to have a live band? Are you going to have speakers? Are you going to have to pay for the speaker's lodging? I've done an event before for one of my clients, and we paid, not we, the client paid for a stipend for them to actually speak at their event, but they also covered their transportation and lodging. So you want everything to be covered from the income that you receive. So you want to list it all out. So list out everything. Food, are you feeding your people, all the attendees? List out the food. How much are you going to spend on food? Do you have giveaways? Shirts, little trinkets. How much are those going to cost? You want to put that dollar amount down. And I always, and forgive me, Coach, if this is wrong, but me, I always think worst case. So I always put a higher dollar amount to make sure that I'm covered for whatever. Maybe I miscalculated how much I'm going to need. If I padded a little bit, then I should give myself some wiggle room, right? So that's what you want to put down. We already talked about supplies, facilitating, marketing. Are you doing Facebook ads? Any kind of social media ads? Do you want okay, awesome. Thank you, Mark. Mark is the best. He said he put the volunteer hours calculator in the original copy for you guys. So you didn't have to remember the rate. So it's in there for you. Very good. So yeah, I want you to list out all the expenses. I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. And I'm just gonna throw in numbers here. So we have a lot of land at the church. So we will host the event probably at our church. Again, this is not the church's food pantry. We're just hosting it. And that's how we're able to get funding for the pantry. Tents. Tents are expensive. Well, but 5,000 for tents. Insurance. And some of these expenses you may have to dig, like a pause with insurance. I know we pay insurance on our property, but if that can be covered by a grant, I would want that to be done. So I wouldn't have to come out of the church's pocket. So I would need to actually dig through our policy and see how much the insurance was and put that dollar amount there. We'll just put a rough number, 2,000 for there. Performers, yeah, we want to pay them. So we'll pay 2,000. We'll just say there's 4 performers. No, that's a lot of money. It's fine. 4 separate performers. $500 each. And that's my note. So I know where I got that number from. Leave yourself all kinds of notes. So when you come back to this, I always like the joke. It's like, I've slept since I worked on this the last time. I don't remember why I put that there. If you leave yourself a note, then you'll be able to keep up with it. Let's say you got merchandise. You want to do shopping bags. Okay, so for our pantry, we purchase the little plastic bags that you can get in, a regular retail store. We spend, we'll say roughly $50 for 1,000 bags. So we're gonna want 5,000 bags. So $50 times 5. Yes. So there'd be 5 cases of 1,000 bags at $50 each. So that's gonna give me 5,000 bags at the $50 price, which is gonna be $250. So see, I'm leaving myself explanation. Mark, they want to know if you can drop the link to where you found the in-kind dollar amount. Okay. So this is expensive. And as you can see, the sum formula that I taught you how to put it here, it's already here, so it's already adding up. So right now, my total expenses is $9,250 versus how much I am estimating to bring in. So right now, this whole event is debt free because I'm going to get in enough money to cover the expenses. Let me know if that makes sense to you or not. In the chat, drop a 7 if it makes sense. If it does not make sense, let me know. And Mark has also dropped the link. Now click on it so we can see it. This is the link. So he Googled in-kind dollar amount for volunteer hours for the U.S. for 2024. Okay. So I don't want to like make it sound super simple. The hardest time you'll have with this is just coming up with your figures on the expenses because you want to make sure you have everything covered. So that's where your time is going to go into as far as building this budget. And you want to rinse and repeat for every event that you do. You keep this. So let's say in 2025, I want to do Community Harvest 2025. You come back here and see what it is that you brought in from who, because you want to go back to those same people and get some more money from them. You want to partner with them again and add some new things for expenses. You want to see how much you spent on that. So you'll know where to start at for your next event. In the notes, there's a column for explanatory notes. I did clear this out from coaches. So if you haven't cleared it out, go ahead and clear that column out. And this is really, really, really helpful when you're asking for dollars. And just be mindful. You want the expense amount to be less than your income amount. That is the goal. If this is seeming to be more than your income, so that should make you think, okay, I need to get some more money from somewhere. Who else can I go to? Who else can I partner with to get some more dollars to fund my event? And we remember how Coach had us list out everything you needed to know who to go after for the dollars. Yes, sir. So I showed you in the beginning how to do it. So we're gonna go back to this one. So this is a notebook. Okay. Got it. Okay. So I'm gonna use mine. I can mess with anyone else. So Mark, I think the people that are following along, back to my screen, are making their updates in that same link that you sent, which is fine. But for personal use, you guys, what I would do is go to File and do make a copy so that you can have your own copy saved to your location. And it's not here with everybody else. So to make your own copy, go to File, make a copy, and then save it off to yours so it won't be jumbled up with everybody else. Because I got confused at first second. And then when you're in there to make a copy of the sheet for the next year, you just pull up your budget, right click on the sheet, right click, and then hit duplicate. And it's going to create you another spreadsheet. Any questions that myself or Mark can answer for you? Coach usually goes longer. but I have covered everything that he asked me to. And I don't want to hold you just to hold you. So I will stay on. If you have any questions about this budget worksheet and how to manipulate it for your event, thank you so much for coming. And I hope that helped you. I hope that helped. Miss Karen, I will reach out to you separately about the public grant. You're most welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. This was very helpful.
You're welcome. Awesome. Thank you, Miss Jessica. Again, Mark said that the replay for those that came on late or were unable to follow along with us, Mark said the replay should possibly be out tomorrow. So look for that. You're welcome, Granny T. Let's continue to make Coach proud. Where's the budget spreadsheet? Miss Brandy, Mark just dropped the link again for you. And I'll stay on until it's just me and Mark left in here so that I know there's no other questions. Now stop sharing.
Hey, thank you so much,
You're
Ms.
welcome.
Genevieve. This was excellent. One question that I do have, I know you talked about but making the budget a little bigger just in case there's overage that you didn't account for. So the numbers that you showed that were on Coach's spreadsheet, are those good places to start? Or how did you come up with those numbers? And maybe I just missed that because I did step out for a minute.
Oh, no, you're
I'm
fine.
working.
No, you're fine. So, Coach has been doing this event for a couple years now, right?
Yes.
So he knows how much, what
things are going to
all it
cost
takes to put this event on. So he, hold on, let me pull it back up. Mark dropped it in my Facebook. Mark, I think the Grind Fest copy has been overwritten.
That's okay. We have the original copy with us, so
Can you
the one
drop?
that we shared.
Can you
Yep.
drop me another copy so I can use that for Miss
Sure.
Alice? Thank you. You can drop it in Facebook again. Miss Diana, if you re-click on the link that Mark posted, it should show up as the new version with that calculator in there, and then you won't have to copy it over.
Okay, I'll just save the new link. Okay,
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you.
You're welcome. And guys, make sure you make a copy, because I know we're all new getting into here, and we don't want to mess anybody up. So make sure you go file, make a copy to save your own copy. And in that way, if you need to start all over again, Mark has a good place to send you a fresh copy from. Miss Alice, we are coming. We are coming.
Okay.
Okay. Yep, Grind Fest. Okay. Let me share my screen back out. All right. So let's make this bigger for people like me that wear glasses. Okay. So using Coach's budget, Alice asked, and correct me if I restate your question wrong, but she asked, like, where do we start with the numbers on what we need to cost out for our event? Everybody's event is different. Like for instance, if for mine, if I did an event, a food pantry, I may not need the cost of tables because I can just the church can donate those to the event and it won't cost us anything. So I wouldn't necessarily put down a cost for tables. But Coach knew from and these are all speculations that he needed tables from last year's event, that he's going to need them again for this year's event. And this is how much it costs him. So that's the dollar amount that you will start with.
Okay, so basically so let's just say, for instance, if each one was $28 and he knew that he needed 100, he would just cost that out that way.
Right.
And then maybe just add a little bit more if necessary on the back
yes,
end.
ma'am. And what you want to do is, like anything else we shop for, Google what you're looking for and see what the price of it is. And because you want even though I said pad, and I hope I don't get in trouble, even though I said pad, you still at some point need to use a true cost dollar amount for it. So for tables, you don't want to guesstimate that they're going to cost $100. Google how much rental. What area are you in?
Atlanta.
I'm down the street from.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, rental tables. So let's say we go to table rentals. Pick anybody that you may want to deal with and see how much are they renting out the tables for. Just to give you an idea. Table rentals. Okay, so like from $12, and depending on, that's what I thought. So if you want a 6-foot table, this place is going to charge you $13 per table to rent. And of course, you got taxes and fees and all of that. So you could, if you know for sure this is the place you want to deal with, I would go ahead and cost out the entire thing up to the point of purchasing so that you can know what the true dollar amount is going to be. And then that is what you're going to drop in the spreadsheet. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Sorry, I was trying to get off mute. And I also sent you 2 private messages whenever you get an opportunity.
Okay.
Just make sure you look at those before we get off. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Yes, what Granny T and Mark said, we use Google. Google is our best friend. It's my best friend. To use it to find the prices of what you need.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Granny T. Thanks, Mark.
All right. Again, I'm going to stay on here. If anybody else has any questions, we'll hang up once it's just me and Mark. Yes, Miss Karen.
Okay, I'm gonna be really quick. Are you able to help me with the Publix, because I applied twice and it didn't turn out so good.
I can show you
Okay.
what I did.
Okay.
Mark, do you think it's okay for me to do this or just leave it as what he told me to do? And
I
can
can
get
message you.
Yes, yes, actually, ma'am, you can go ahead and show them the process that you did.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Yeah. This was an honor. I didn't want to mess it up, Miss Karen, but Mark said I can. So,
I totally get it.
We're gonna do this. Let's see. Let me stop sharing so I can find all my stuff. And I'm still taking questions on the budget piece as well. Let me. Where I'm at.
What does your shirt say?
CCU. It's my church shirt. I gotta go work today. After I get off this job, I gotta go down there and work. My work shirt. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all like all my stuff because all my coaches teach me how to give way more than share. Okay. Now, Mark, if I go too deep, please stop me. Okay, please stop me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I have made my church more electronic from when I first started being an admin there. So a lot of the stuff I keep on Google Drive. So for all the grant stuff that I've been doing, I have a folder for the church, and I have what I call a cheat sheet of what I'm doing, so that I can keep up with it. Because before I met Coach Hackett, I really didn't know much about grants and grants for nonprofits. So when I met him under our mutual coach, I latched on and I was like, okay, I got to learn everything we need because my church is in like a really rural area, and our the church is really small. So that kind of dictates what we're able to do as far as ministry work. And with the tithes and offering, we use the tithes and offerings that we bring in to keep the doors open. So when we started doing the pantry endeavor a couple years back, of course, the church is using parts of the dollars that we're bringing in through tithes and offering to not only take care of the church's needs, but also now the pantry. So the first thing I wanted to do when I met Coach Hackett was how can I help us offset the cost that we're using to help feed the community through the pantry, because it's been going really really well with our pantry. Like our pantry is open most Saturdays throughout the month, and we probably feed about we average about 40 families that we feed every Saturday that we're open. And then if we do a food drive, um, we feed close to like 600 people with our food drive. So that's a lot of food. The food drives, we don't have to pay for that food because the food bank gives that to us to give out as the agency. But for the pantry, we have to supply the food that goes in there. So we have to spend dollars from the church to replenish that. And so that's how we do it. So to help offset the dollars that we have coming in, because of course things go wrong, right? We have technology issues. When it storms, something usually goes out in our church, which means we have to call a vendor, contractor to come out and fix, which costs a lot of money. So to not take money away from doing that, or being not able to open a pantry because we don't have the funding, we use the grant dollars to keep our pantry doors open. So yeah, so that's the background on our pantry. So on my screen right now, so I have a grants folder. And in here, this is what I do. You don't have to do it this way, but this is how I do. I have a lost, a pending, and a one folder. And I drop in however it happens, right? And then I also have a cheat sheet. This is another Google sheet, and Coach has never seen this. You guys are all seeing this for the first time. This is so I do each tab for a year. I list out every grant I go after, what type of grant that they're giving, when I submitted it, that most of the grants that I've applied for ask for an event date. I put that down. What type of award am I going to get? How much did I request versus how much did I get? What's the award date turnaround? And when did I actually get awarded? This is all good for me so that I know when I come back in here. So like last year, 2023, I was building my nerve up, right, to apply for these grants because I was like, it's too good to be true. Y'all, it worked. I applied for public and on April 24th, 23. The event date I gave, which was like I just picked a random pantry date for the future. That's the event date. It was a monetary grant award type. This is what I requested, 1,000, because that was the max. They said that you can request. Our coach tells us to go for it. So the max was 1,000. I want 1,000. The email confirmation that it would be a 4-week turnaround. So that's what I put. And this is just to let me know to look out for stuff for the notification within this time frame. I submitted it on April 24th. They actually got back to me 4 days later on April 28th and said that we were going to get a $500 gift card. And this is the link for myself to go back and apply for the next one, because I knew this was an annual. This is when I knew I put in my calendar, okay, any date after April 24th, I need you to be back in their application trying to get some more money. So when 2024 came around, Publix, as you can see right here on line 4, I requested after April 29th. So I was in the clear on the date part. 5/8/24, event date, future pantry date, gift card again. I'm going for the max. 4-week turnaround. I applied. Now, this was the crazy part because I had to do a table take. I submitted on May 8th, and I know it was within an hour. I got an email notification that they were going to give us another $500 gift card. It was that quick. I was like, what? I was so pumped. Like, who else? Who else? So, yeah. So now I know for 2025, I need to go apply for Publix again after May 8th. And I just rinse and repeat, like he tells us, rinse and repeat. Food Lion, this year was the first time. This is the one that I mentioned is biannual. And I do have those notes right here. So I have a separate tab. So Publix is annually, Food Lion once every 6 months. And these are some more that I still got to apply for the pantry. And these are the other ones I got to work down here too. So again, y'all don't have to do all of this. It just helps my brain because I got a lot to keep up with. Food Lion, I applied on February 9th. Told them the event date was this, was one of our future pantry dates. Their max grant was 1,000. That's what I told them I wanted. 2 to 3 week turnaround. I applied on February 9th. They awarded me a couple weeks later on the 22nd, and they gave me $250. And this one is once every 6 months. So that means after August 9th, 6 months from the first time I submitted, believe on August 10th, I will be applying for some more money, and I'm going to apply for the same amount. So even if they just give us $250, that's fine. I'll take it. I will take it. And this is showing me how much we've been able to win so far. The $1,000 that's my current highest award so far. I'm still going. Still going. Thanks, Miss Alice. So Granny T, I live and die by my calendar. I have my 9 to 5. I'm full time with my church as an admin, and then I have my business. So I'm busy. So I live and die by my calendar. As soon as I know when the next day is, I can apply. I actually put it in my calendar. Apply for such and such grant, so that it'll pop up as a reminder. So I don't forget. If I don't write it down, if it's not on my calendar, it does not exist, and it will not get done. So that's how I stay on top of it. So I did all that to say we're going to do Publix. So Publix, nope, it was on 2023. So you can Google, and we'll do it the Coach way. So you want to do Publix grant, right? Because that's what he told us. You write down the name of the store, of any retail store, any store, anything you want to see if people got grants, any bank, whatever. Publix grant, all right? And then you click on the website for it. And it's going to bring it to you. It's going to tell you the requirements of the grant. And it tells you right here, if you represent a nonprofit organization, so that's the first part, you got to be a nonprofit organization, 501c3, that is doing great things for your community in these states. So if you're not in these states, you can stop because they will not take in your request. So the Pantry is a nonprofit organization. I live in the state, Pantry is in the state of Georgia. So far, I made it. Area of focus, remember, Coach teaches us that each grantor has certain areas that they will support. So you want to make sure that your organization is an organization that is answering a call to what they are supporting. So we support organizations that focus on youth education, reducing hunger, and alleviating homelessness. Ding, ding, ding. Reducing hunger is what we're trying to do in our area. The social determinants of health for that area where my church is at is I just went like it's a food deficit, food desert. That's what it is. Food desert. Low income area, poor community. So they don't necessarily have the funding to get food. So the pantry steps in by offering free food to the community. Food desert, yep. So okay. And then it tells you what it would do, if it's a school, what we can contribute. Now they're telling you what they can give. We review requests for donations, gift cards, sponsorships, giveaways, programs. All the grants will tell you what they will do and what they will not do. All requests are submitted online. I'm already registered, so we'll go there. If this is your first time, Miss Alice, I don't know if, no, Miss Karen, I don't know if this is your first time applying for Publix or not, but you'll want to register so that you can do the submit the request. And it tells you the rules. You guys, you have to read. Make sure you read so that you're applying. Because as coaches told us, if it's not done right, they will not follow through with the request. So you don't want to mess yourself up by not reading. So make sure you read it. Okay. And then it's just more information. So I've already registered, so we'll log in. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Log in. So it should not let me. Oh, maybe it will. I can't put it in because I already did it. So we're just gonna answer the questions. Publix gives an eligibility quiz. So just in case you read through the stuff and you missed something, it's gonna walk you through this quiz to make sure you understand what it is that's needed in order for you to submit for a request from them from funding support. Does the organization operate in and or serve clients in one or more of these states? As I said, I'm in Georgia. The pantry's in Georgia. Is this request for a beauty pageant? Excuse me, or any of these other things? No, not. Is this request for a booster club, PTA? No. Is this organization a municipality? Sorry, Chamber of Commerce or a church? So this is where it gets tricky, right? So remember, he taught us, and which I have to listen to very hard. Some people will not give to churches. You cannot be a religious organization requesting the money. But how we get the dollars is because the pantry is not a religious organization. It is a venue through which we take care of the community. The dollars do not go to us; it goes to the pantry. So we're going to do the purpose of the request. This is where you select general donation request, sponsorship, or both of them. It's up to you what you want to do. And then once you do that, you check the eligibility. I don't want to mess our stuff up, but you click it on there, and then it'll tell you which one. Let's hit leave. Let's go through here and see if it's got the past stuff. So in the past, I've asked for donations. Let's do open. So 2023, I say yes. We're in Georgia. No, we're not a beauty pageant or any of this. No, we're not. It's not for any of these. Yes, it's church. I guess it is. Yes. Both generation donation. So that's what I put in there, and it told me yes, I am eligible. As you can see, based on your answers, you are eligible. So we got that far. Miss Karen, you asked for me to go through this? Did you get that far? Okay, awesome. Okay, so let me see if it'll actually let me go. It's not. Oh, approve. You know what? It's still thinking. There we go. Okay, so we'll go with the most recent. We'll open this one. Okay, so I'm gonna pause here because I do want to say that Coach tells us to use Chat GPT. When I tell you Chat GPT is my best friend, me and Chat GPT work together every single day. I use it definitely use it when it comes to applying for grants because that's what Coach told us to do. Why not? Why listen to him and not do what he tells us to do, right? So I use Chat GPT when I apply for these grants. And I'm gonna show you. I like to work smart, not hard, right? He told us when we're applying for grants, make sure you keep that information because either A, it was good enough for you to win the grant, therefore you want to keep it. So, like myself with Publix, you can reuse that same information. Or two, you didn't win, you want that information so you can see where you need to tweak it in order to get that one under the win column. So I have a Google Doc that I keep all of my stuff in. So when I'm applying for grants, I have this spreadsheet open so I can keep notes as to what I'm applying for. And then I also keep this doc open when it comes up. So I have all of the info that they can ask for. And I just come in here and do a copy paste. Most of this, 99% of this document, me and ChatGPT got together on. I got my social determinants of health, the EIN, what is our mission, mission statement. I got a summary of use of funding because some of the grants ask, what are you going to do with the money? This is my summary. I got a long version and I got a short version, ChatGPT. One of them, what was it? I think this was on GuideStar. He told us we need to have, our nonprofit organization needs to have an account on GuideStar. Went and did that. They asked me what was my responsibility as the admin for the pantry. I went on ChatGPT so I can get that. Hold on one second because I'm juggling work as well. Hold on one second. Okay. Other notes. This is just stuff that I learned as I'm applying for grants. Again, notes for myself because I do go to sleep and I do forget. And there's sometimes a space in between me applying for different grants. So I want to make it easy for myself. And I've also started trying to train somebody else at my church to help me apply for this. So I want them to have access to the same information that I'm using. So I drop it on here. See, I even got the in-kind, right? And I need to change that. There we go. Change that on here. And then I just got different notes. The last time, what was it? One of the banks, it was the Robbins Federal Credit Union grant I went after. They wanted sponsorship levels. At that point in time, I did not have any sponsorship levels. I had to go to ChatGPT. And I think I still have it. Okay, I got 12 minutes because he said an hour and a half. So I went to ChatGPT and I told it, food pantry. Oh, yeah, if I use ChatGPT, make sure you rename it so you know what it is. So I told it, hey ChatGPT, I'm working on a grant for my church's food pantry. We don't have any sponsorship levels. No lie there. We just take donations. A grant I'm working on is asking to please list all available sponsorship levels and benefits of each level. Include the benefits level of each level of sponsorship. What should I put as my answer? Y'all, I did what Coach said. I took the question from the grant application and I dropped it in here, told ChatGPT exactly what I was doing, and this is what it gave me. A whole breakdown. And so what I did is I read through it, and I I I read through it, and then I made it make sense for us, and then I sent it off to the pastors for them to approve that I can send that out. And I'm telling you, the only thing I changed was we don't do quarterly newsletters at the church. So I took that out, but everything else stayed. Everything else stayed. And then I kept going through the grant application, and it said, okay, great. Now can you craft me an answer for this question? There was another question I ran into on a grant application. How would Ramos Federal Credit Union be recognized for its donation or sponsorship? Please list blah 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 blah. Copy paste that question in here. And my best friend came back with another answer, and it gave me all of this. Y'all, when I tell you, I'm gonna show you. So I was able to get that information, not only apply for the grant, and put more information in my notes for future grants. I came to Canva because Canva is also my best friend. Came to Canva, and I was like, well, if they ask for it, then somebody else is gonna need it, right? I created a whole sponsorship proposal document using the information that coach taught us how to do. So I was able to create this whole, I threw this thing together so quick. This right here came from my notes, previous ChatGPT session. All of this pulled off our website. Sponsorship packages, I just showed you that in ChatGPT. Thank you. ChatGPT did this for me. I had them do it for me. And our contact information, done. Uploaded that into the grant application because it needed a supplemental document, done. That's what I did. So that got done. So I know I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. I get very excited. So this is the public application, Miss Karen. I'm sorry. So application title, TCU Food Connection Pantry, Georgia. County, Dooley County. Purpose of the donation, y'all, this is straight from Chat GPT. I put in everything about our pantry, and I told it to write me a purpose and or mission, and that's what this is right here. This is the long one. I think that on the application, that field had a character limit. It had a character limit, so I told ChatGPT to give me a shorter version, and so that's what I used. I was like, hey, this is what you gave me. I'm making shorter. I can use it. And that's what I used. So I dropped that in there. I asked for a gift card. This is how much I want, because it was the max. Gift card quantity. This was new this year. That wasn't there last year. And I said, give me 4 $250 gift cards. So the gift, oh, that's a lot. I didn't know I asked for that. That's awesome. 4,000. But they ended up sending us 1 gift card for $500. So that's what I did, Miss Karen. Okay, I'm gonna go back up, and Miss Karen, I will sign off when you tell me you're good, because that part was for your request. And if you guys have any questions, I do not know it all. I am not coach. I am on the same level as y'all, trying to make this happen with what he's given us. I don't mind answering questions on what I know. And I know Mark is still here hanging out with us. So just let me know. Okay, awesome. Yes, ma'am, that's fine. That is fine. No, I haven't tried the Walmart grant. Christy, the only reason I haven't tried yet is because, you know, those 4 areas that coach tells us that we need to have, right? I have been not fighting, but it's hard to get my pastor to sit down, and I have to tell him, yo, there's information I need in order to apply for these grants, but I don't like to move without him out of respect, and because it's not my church, you know what I'm saying? I need him to approve the stuff that I put out. So me and ChatGPT all day. I'll come up with all the stuff. I just need him to proof it so that I can use it. So all of the information that I needed, I've been waiting for him to get back to me so I can go off of those higher dollar amount grants for the pantry, like the Walmarts, the Krogers, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's on my radar. It's on my radar. Am I in the school community? No, ma'am, I am not. I have. You were awarded 5,500. So that is awesome. Okay, Miss Karen. Yeah, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. Yeah. So, but I'm planning on it. All right. Any other questions? We got 6 minutes. Coach said he usually goes an hour and a half, and I will not go over that time frame. Any other questions about the budget sheet, or we just covered the public grant, how I've done it. By Miss Alice, it was nice meeting y'all. I've been able to get it for our pantry for 2 years in a row now. And how, we do what Coach says and use ChatGPT to get the info we need. You're most welcome. Mark, I see somebody's in the waiting room. I don't know if we need to. Okay. All right, we've come to the end of today's training. Mark and I filled in for Coach today. He is out of country. His internet wasn't the best, so we filled in for him. Please make sure you go back and check the replay. Today's focus was making sure that your event budget, you knew how to put that together so that you can plan a debt-free event. Mark has dropped the link again. Make sure if you are not a part of the school community, don't be like me. Go join it. Mark, can you drop that link for them too? It's Coach's membership program.
Yes, ma'am.
It is awesome, y'all. Y'all listen. Don't just listen to what Coach is saying. Make sure y'all apply what he's doing. Apply, because it works. All right. What time we got? All right, it's 1:26. So in 4 minutes, we're gonna drop off. Oh, thank you, Miss Christie. We are gonna drop off in 3 minutes if we don't see any more questions.